These shawls connect us with country and community. They represent empowerment, comfort and safety. As First Nations people, we know just how important it is to build spiritual and cultural essence into our everyday lives, especially our healthcare.
Putting the shawl on, that was marvellous. The artwork is absolutely amazing, but it's not just the artwork, it's what it means. And you put it on and it's like having the aunties from long ago give you a great big hug.
I just got tingles in the sense that a local Aboriginal woman has designed this for this community, and then putting it on myself, I was like, wow, this is just, brings me back to country, brings me back to culture, and now I feel empowered, with this, and I'm connected with my sisters.
In the last few months of 2019, BreastScreen Victoria's mobile screening services, 2 hot pink vans called Marjorie and Nina, visited 8 Aboriginal community-controlled health organisations across the state, offering free breast screens to local women.
Aboriginal health is everyone's business, so taking the BreastScreen van onto country is so important and such a privilege for us to be able to do that. We really made an effort to make sure that our entire service was more culturally safe, so every staff member that worked on the van had cultural safety training.
The fact that everything was happening on the ground and then in partnership with BreastScreen and VACCHO was probably the most important aspect, that the leadership came from the community and from their needs.
And it was self-determination that planted the seed for a powerful addition to the breast screening service. Free cultural shawls for women to wear during their mammogram and take home with them, reminding us of the protection of possum skin cloaks.
A cloak of protection, a cloak of empowerment. So it's a journey of those that were present that day, but it was also a journey of those other ancestors that may have passed because they didn't get their screening. My name is Shannon Drake and I'm a proud Wamba Wamba Jarrah woman. I was just overwhelmed with the cultural, and I walked away so proud, in tears, so emotional because it was so connected back to the community.
I'm Georgie Taylor and I'm a proud Gundjamara woman.
Georgie has been an Aboriginal health practitioner at Gundjamara for 20 years. On the day we visited, it was clear she never expected such an influx of women.
We're nearly through the whole 50 shawls already. To be thinking, we've got 2 more days to go yet. I'm thinking, oh, wow. Because we thought, we'd get, 3 or 4 a day. And we're going, where's all the shawls gone? They're just going. So, something's working.
It's something that's vibrant, that's culturally driven, that's incredible artwork, amazing stories. I think that has been the key.
My name's Brenda Grist and I'm a proud Wiradjuri woman.
Brenda has breast cancer on both sides of her family. Her mum was diagnosed last year.
She's cancer free and I wholeheartedly believe it was because of the van. If the van hadn't have been here, Mum wouldn't have had the mammogram. We wouldn't have been reassured of that. And our doctors and nursing team here got her through the journey and got her through diagnosis and treatment. I don't think Mum would still be probably growing cancer if it wasn't for the van and from Rumbellaris Medical Clinic. Sorry.
The thought of having her own mammogram used to fill Brenda with anxiety, but this time when the van pulled up, it was different.
It was a safe feeling, it was a connected feeling, if you know what I mean. I think the shawls were a fantastic inclusion, especially for a lot of our elder ladies. There's a lot of shyness and a lot of shame job in taking off the clothes and being exposed like that. I'm Tani Jones. I'm a proud Guguyamitha woman from the Cape York area.
As a 50-year-old woman, Tani knew it was time to get her first mammogram, especially given her family history.
My grandmother had died of breast cancer at the age of 47, and because it then becomes a hereditary issue, I was too afraid to find out the answer. I was afraid that it was going to say yes. With the shawl, these symbols are identifying with women, with our culture, with our Indigenous history, with country. That's what makes it so special.
The Shawl Project was born in 2018 when the Victorian Aboriginal Community-Controlled Health Organisation, VACCHO, investigated how to improve breast screening in a culturally sensitive, self-determining way.
We just had some test material that we got from the printer, and we utilised some lovely women in our office of different shapes and sizes to see what was going to actually drape better, what was going to cover all of the body.
VACCHO staff also consulted the radiographer at St Vincent's BreastScreen in Melbourne. She quickly embraced the idea and helped design the shawl to make sure it didn't interfere with the mammogram equipment. The shawl was trialled at St Vincent's using the artwork of respected Wiradjuri and Yorta Yorta artist Lynette Briggs.
The artwork represents the birthing tree, planting your feet on Mother Earth and drawing from all the energies and thinking about the concept of life for each individual woman, especially around their health and well-being, their spiritual energies. We take that from Mother Earth and through our birthing trees.
The design was inspired by the many stories of women and their personal journeys shared in yarning circles.
We held the yarning circles to just let women come together, talk about what they felt about their own health. The creative thought about that artwork came out of the voices of them women.
So successful was the trial that it won a prestigious Vic Health Award for improving health equity. There was no doubt then, the Shawl Project needed to be expanded statewide, and so local artists in each of the 8 Aboriginal community-controlled health organisation sites were invited to create vibrant designs unique to each region. At Rumballara in Shepparton, women were encouraged to submit their art and elders chose the winner.
My name is Rebecca Atkinson and I'm a proud Muruthadu woman of the Bangarang Nation and of the Kurupma of the Gunditjmara Nation.
Rebecca used different shades of pink to represent breast cancer and flowers to convey a sense of calm.
The butterflies represent a journey in life. You know, you start in a cocoon, you don't feel very beautiful, but then when a butterfly comes to life, it's got beautiful colours, and you know, that's how I see us as women, Aboriginal strong women are.
In Warrnambool, Rebecca Clayton painted the beautiful colours of the coast and the bush to represent Gunditjmara land and the community of Gunditjmara women. As a Walpuri woman, she also used designs from women's business ceremonies in Tennant Creek.
There's a great amount of respect to be had for elders who are taking the lead in getting these screens done, so I made them the focus. They're the big people in the middle of the painting. That's why I did all the other people in the community facing the elders, so that we're looking to them for guidance when it comes to healthcare.
Having local artists design the shawls has been a big draw card.
Even for my mum, who's in that age group, she screened and she said, yeah, I'm definitely coming, I'm getting my shawl. They take ownership over that, particularly because it's their community member who designed it, and because I was also involved in that process. Mum and my other relatives were supporting that by coming along.
It's been overwhelming to see how each Aboriginal community has embraced the project. Once a woman was screened with the shawl, it wasn't long before their mums, sisters and aunties all knew about it.
We had a lot of women who weren't actually due for their screening still coming along to the bus, making a special effort to come because they wanted the shawl, they'd heard about the shawl.
We also noticed that more younger women were eager to come and have their screening. The shawl was definitely enticing.
That word of mouth just spread quicker than we could have ever imagined, and the numbers have just been amazing.
Word also spread to other non-Indigenous communities, including a busload of Afghani women who turned up at Rumballara to be screened in a safe place. All women are welcome on country.
It was a heartwarming moment to realise that how far beyond the Aboriginal community it has gone out.
The shawls have made a very strong impact locally and regionally, and I don't know if we really anticipated that.
The Shawl Project is the combination of 18 months of hard work and planning between BreastScreen Victoria, VACCHO, the Victorian Aboriginal Health Service and their individual Aboriginal community-controlled health organisations.
It's been huge. So we visited 8 Aboriginal sites for this project. 160 Aboriginal women screened, but the most significant thing to me was that over 80% of the women that are screening are either screening for the first time or they've lapsed, which means they're overdue for the next breast screen. They haven't come back within the recommended time. So this project has been so important in providing a safe and comfortable space that makes people want to come back to BreastScreen or makes them comfortable enough to come to BreastScreen for the first time.
I think that from First Nations leadership and setting the groundwork for this project, that this model can be lent to refugee and migrant communities and to other under-screened communities. I think the model in a different adaptation could be lent towards Aboriginal men's health.
Having made such a significant impact to women's screening rates, staff at BreastScreen Victoria have their fingers crossed they will have enough funding to take the vans and the shawls to every Aboriginal health service in the state. This project also sparked momentum for a one-stop service to cover breast, bowel and cervical screening.
I imagine this amazing screening service staffed by Aboriginal women. Do you know Outback Truckers? I'd like to see the community-controlled version of Outback Truckers, because this is a great project and I know that it's going to be welcomed everywhere.
Seeing where it began and now to see the shawls made up the way they are and to see that it actually won these awards, you know, it opens up this whole world for what's happening with women in screening programs. I think it's changed the way we do things. I think that's really important. It's very inspiring.